Alright, hey, how's it going everybody? It's Tanner here, and welcome back to a very special Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we have our first looks at the official pictures for some Season 12 Ninjago sets. Now, I don't think these are all of the Season 12 sets, or all of these sets that are coming out in January of 2020, presumably, but we do, of course, have some of them here. These are official pictures from LEGO. They are on brick set, so I can show them in the video from my knowledge, and we'll see how that goes. But we do have several of them here to talk about, and they all look very cool. And in this video, I'll sort of talk about them a little bit, give my overall thoughts on them, and we'll basically just go from there. Again, these are not all of these sets that are coming out. These are just the first batch of pictures that we have for the January 2020 release. And we also do have a legacy set mixed in here as well, and we'll talk about that first. This is set number 71702, the Golden Mech, one of the newer Ninjago legacy sets for 2020, and this thing looks ridiculously awesome. I'm a big fan of LEGO mechs in general, and all things robots, stuff like that. I'm a really big fan of all that, and this, to my knowledge, looks to be one of the better Ninjago mechs that we've seen. It actually has posable knee joints, which was a very big problem for older Ninjago mechs. Even some of my favorite mechs of all time, such as the Kai mech from the Ninjago movie and the Lloyd's Titan mech from last season, don't have posable knees. This one does, and it's so cool. I love this new updated design for the Golden Mech. I do think that the older one is a little bit more show accurate, and I do still have that one, so I am planning on getting the set and comparing the two, but this looks great. It comes with a new Golden Lloyd figure, and by new, I mean it's basically just the legacy one, but with an updated shoulder pad, which is basically the Season 11 shoulder pad in gold. And then we have Master Wu and two Stone Warriors, including Kozu, and we've seen those guys before. This doesn't really appear to be any sort of, I guess, new exclusive set with new minifigures, but this is a very cool set, and you can see the newer type of legacy stuff is using the same header as the previous ones, so definitely a very cool set there. I will for sure be picking this one up. Now, going into the actual Season 12 stuff itself, this is the first one that we're going to talk about here. This is set number 71707, Kai's Mech Jet. It appears to be a smaller set. You can see it comes with Kai and a villain figure whose name I cannot read on the top there. It's a little bit blurry, but you can see that this thing is a 2-in-1 build, so it has two different builds going on here. It has a sort of jet theme as well as a robot theme. I'm not sure if it can convert from one to the other, or maybe is it just a, take it apart and then rebuild it as the other model. Similar to Lego Creator stuff. I do think it'd be really cool if they could somehow make it a converting vehicle. I feel like that'd be really awesome, but we can see for the box design all of this digital artwork and stuff like that, including the new version of Jay, who does appear to have a new weapon forged from a game controller, and all of the ninja basically have weapons similar to that, so we'll look more into those as we go down the list. This one I'm not really too keen on picking up. I do think that the 2-in-1 feature is kind of cool. I haven't really seen that with any other Ninjago set for a long time, so that's really cool to see. And if this thing does, convert naturally from jet to robot, I might actually go ahead and buy this. But if it's just, take it apart and rebuild it as the other model, I might pass on it. This really doesn't seem like something that I want to get, but I still think it's very cool nonetheless. Next up, we have set number 71708, the Gamers Market, and this set is ridiculous, you guys. I've already seen a lot for this set. I've done a video on this set again, but this is the first time that we're actually seeing the full thing, and there's so much going on. We have so many minifigs, and we'll talk about that first. We have the Digiverse version of Kai, or the Digikai, whatever it might be. We have a new character called Scott, who I'm not familiar with. That is actually the person that we thought was going to be the Avatar Jay, but apparently that's a guy called Scott. We have Avatar Cole and presumably Avatar Nia. We have the pink Zane, which is really cool to see that suit finally in a Ninjago set. We have some other dude whose name I cannot see. We have some weird Harumi minifigure. I'm not really sure if that means that she's back or what the deal is there, but I'll be doing a video talking about that. And we have some other characters whose names I can't see. Again, it's kind of blurry, but this thing is really cool as well. I'm not quite sure what the whole premise is now with this dude called Scott. Not quite sure what his deal is. I thought it was going to be the Avatar Jay, but presumably not. Maybe that's the alias that Jay goes under in this sort of, I guess, new season. Not quite sure, but the box art you can see is, again, sticking to that Digiverse kind of, I guess, texture and feel to it. And for the set itself, again, this kind of reminds me of the Throne Room Showdown from Season 9. I've seen a lot of people making that comparison already, so I'm not really too surprised if this set ends up being very popular just because of the minifigs and the cheap price, presumably. This is probably going to go for around 20 to 30 bucks, so again, not really too surprised. Next up, we have set number 71709, 9, the Jay and Lloyd Velocity Racers. Now this set, again, appears to be kind of similar to the Kai vehicle that we saw earlier. I believe all the Ninja will have vehicles kind of like this. Jay, of course, has another jet. We've seen jets for Jay before. This one appears to be a little bit more teched out. It has some of those neon green highlights to it, which appear to be, I guess, showing up on all of the Ninja vehicles. And Lloyd's motorcycle is alright as well. This reminds me of something from Sons of Garmadon where you would get, you know, 2 motorcycles in a set. This seems to be very similar to that. We have another villain in this set. I'm not quite sure who that is. And of course, we do have one of those new blade pieces, which I will be doing a video on as well. This set's alright. Again, if you want a Ninjago vehicle set, go for this one. This one appears to be giving you guys 2 vehicles, so not really sure. This one will probably range anywhere from 30 to 40 bucks US, and I probably won't be picking this one up just because it doesn't really appeal to me too much, but it's still, you know, it's still a fine set. I don't really hate it or anything. It's just not something that I would go out of my way to pick up. Speaking of things that I don't really want to go ahead and pick up, this is the Ninja Tuner car featuring Kai, again, this new character Scott, whoever he might be, and 2 of these new villain figures. So not really too sure, again, what's going on with that guy called Scott, but we'll do a video on him soon. And this thing appears to be some type of vehicle, presumably for Scott. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be, again, a new ninja, or if he's just going to be some alternative version of Jay, or a new character, or something like that. But you can see Kai in the background there does have a sword based off of that new game console or game controller piece, so I'm curious to see what those are about as well. And as for the car itself, I don't really like its design too much. It reminds me way too much of the Season 8 Ninja, what was it called? The Lloyd car. I can't remember what it was called at this current point in time, but it reminds me a lot of that, and it has a sort of gray hint to it, some stuff of, some hints of purple, blue, things like that, lots of stickers. This doesn't really appeal to me too much, honestly, and I could really pass on this one. This is something that I probably won't be picking up, but it does look, I guess, kind of appealing to, I guess, people that like the oversized Lego cars, so if you're into that, you'll probably really enjoy this set. Next up, we have set number 71711, Jay's Cyber Dragon. We knew that Jay was going to be getting another dragon, and this thing looks ridiculous. I don't even know how to really describe it. We see for minifigs we have Jay, Nia, Unagami, and 2 other gaming villain figures, whatever. Jay has his new weapon, and Nia has a new weapon as well, using that same game controller piece. It appears to be a hilt of sorts for the actual blade and the weapons itself. Not really too surprising there, honestly, but overall this thing does look insanely cool. I don't know if I'll be grabbing it. Again, we've seen dragons for Jay before, and this thing doesn't really seem to be too different aside from, you know, the whole digitized, I guess, feel and look for this dragon. It definitely appears to be a mechanical dragon as opposed to a organic dragon from previous Ninjago sets and waves, but this thing still looks fine. It doesn't really appeal to me too much though, personally, and I probably will end up passing on this one. I don't really like the build for the dragon's head as well, but I'm sure maybe as I go ahead and get used to it a little bit more, it'll start to appeal to me more and more as we go on. Still not sure on that one. Next up, we have the Empire Temple of Madness, set number 71712. This thing appears to be one of the bigger sets of this wave, and this just looks really cool. I love this look so much for this temple. I think it looks really great. For minifigs, we have Jay, Lloyd, and Cole, along with Unagami, this new mysterious, possibly Mr. E figure, and then we have some random villain grunt there, presumably. And the temple looks cool. This is one of the only sets from this wave that isn't some sort of vehicle, so that's always nice to see. And the temple itself, again, looks fine. It looks really tall, and we've seen, in my opinion, Ninjago temples that look a little better than this one, but this one still isn't too terrible. I still think it's rather cool looking in its design, and I do think a lot of people will end up liking this one and picking this one up. And again, all of the ninja weapons for this line appear to have some sort of game controller attachment to it. Not quite sure what that's about, but I will be doing a video again talking about that in the future. And this one's fine. This will probably range, maybe, if I had to guess, $60 to $80, somewhere in there perhaps. It appears that you do get quite a bit of stuff with this set, so I wouldn't be surprised. And again, it does include 3 of the ninja all armored up, and I'm curious to see what the actual, I guess, avatar stuff does look like now, and especially with that new character Scott. I'm not quite sure what his deal is, and overall this wave looks pretty cool so far. It definitely looks very unique when you compare it to other Ninjago lines and waves. This looks a lot, I guess, more independent in my opinion, and the Legacy set, while it does fit the, I guess, legacy quality of the previous sets that we saw earlier this year, it still doesn't look too bad. I really like the Golden Mech. I feel like that's going to be one of my favorite ones of this wave, and I will for sure be picking that one up. And overall, guys, these sets look great so far. I'm curious to see what other sets come out for this line, and let me know down below in the comments what you think about these so far. Again, comments might be going away very soon, so feel free to go ahead and comment while you can, and I'll go do my best to try to, I guess, adapt to this new YouTube format as well. Check out the video that I talked about yesterday if you have questions on that. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, tell me in the comments down below what your favorite set from this line is, and stay tuned for more videos talking about these sets and discussions about the season in general. So thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including the Marvelous Jan. Thank you so much for pledging to the $10 tier. As such, you will receive a spoken shout out and a written shout out at the end of every video, plus additional early access content on the Patreon page from time to time. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.